Hello BookTube and welcome back to my channel. I am Sarah. This is Aussie SFF coming at you it's actually day 6. You know how I said I was a day behind? It's actually day 6 of the Vlogmas season, and I'm coming at you with another library reorganization because I'm already here. We're going on to the next box today. I believe I'm going to unhaul. I think I'm going to be strong and I'm going to unhaul a book. So let's go for it. Here we have box number 2. And we're going to start out with this top one. This is a very, very old version of The Little Mermaid by Hans Christian Andersen. That's going to have to move into the first box with the other Hans Christian Andersen books. And this was actually owned by my great-grandmother. Really beautiful version. So we're just going to put that one straight in there so she doesn't get damaged. Awesome. Okay. Again, I've said it before, I put bookmarks into my library so I can grab one nice and easy. We have one from Book Depository, one from Free Comic Book Day, and just a random one. Okay, here comes my unhaul. I am going to unhaul this book. I've had it forever. I've never read it. It is the dramatization of League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, novelization, sorry, and I think I'd rather read the comic books. So yeah, that one's going to go away. Onto the pile you go. Next we have The Boat of a Million Years from Poul Anderson. Another Poul Anderson one, Tau Zero, and Twilight World by Poul Anderson as well. We then have, I picked this one up secondhand because it looked so very interesting, The Secret Life of Laszlo Count Dracula by Roderick Ascombe. Bad with names. We then have the Clockwork Fairy Tales, which I got for a birthday at some stage, which is a collection of steampunk fables. Really got to get into reading that one. I'm not a big one for short stories and collections, so possibly if it's well themed I like it, but we have a random secondhand pickup which was Piers Anthony and Robert F. Margoff and Dragon's Gold. If you've watched much of my channel, I am a sucker for something with a dragon on the front. Again with a dragon on the front. This is fantasy stories, and this one actually has J.R.R. Tolkien and Joan Aiken in it, so I picked this one up because of the authors. And how cool is that dragon? And how cool is that castle? We have Cosmic Fantasy including Neil Gaiman, Tom Holt, Terry Jones, Terry Pratchett, and Jane Yeuven, the only one I don't know, but look at the cover, isn't it fantastic? That was a very long ago, and I think I have read some, but not much. This is a collection, this is a pickup that I got because I wanted to read this series. I've since heard that it's quite not probably something I'm going to enjoy, so I'm actually going to unhaul this one as well. Especially because I think it's a fair way into the series. Yeah, it's book number 5, so we're going to get rid of that one. On to the unhaul pile. Last one for the front. This is from my library at work. They were getting rid of this. This is a complete series of the Shape Shifters, the Kaisadra, never going to say that one, of the Den of Shadows, and that's all 5 books by Amelia Atwater Rhodes. So I picked that one up because it looked interesting. Onto the back, this is where I've got some of my classics by Jane Austen, some old things and just some interesting ones. Let's have a look. We have my classics, Penguin Classics version of Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, and Persuasion. These ones are a series by K.A. Applegate, who also wrote the Animorphs series. They are not #1 in the series. If anyone knows anything about them, please hit me up in the comment sections below. They look really interesting. I haven't been able to hunt down any of the other ones. I picked them up, my mum picked them up for me secondhand. They will survive this lot, but they may not survive the next rearrangement. This was a really cool one. This is Inside the Atom by Isaac Asimov. This is one of his non-fiction books, and it actually has some neat diagrams in it. There was no way I was going to not pick up this book, being of a science background myself. These are my last 2 Animorphs books. I got rid of most of the ones in the series. I just really loved these 2. It was the Andalite Chronicles and the Hawk Bajar Chronicles. Purely nostalgia. I won't let these ones go because I loved them so much. And lastly, we have a bunch of my husband's Foot Rot Flats comic books. And this is very much an Australian classic. Foot Rot Flats was the dog, and he's owned by a farmer who, in typical Aussie fashion, wears a shearer's singlet. We don't call them, well, they get called wife beaters now, but that's a definite shearer's singlet where I grew up, and it's classic Aussie humour. One of the older ones. And that's it for that box. If you're wondering what the Barbie album at the back was, it is literally an album from when I was a kid. So that's going to stay in the back there. So next one I will be rearranging once again. So if you like this sort of thing, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to hit subscribe, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye. Happy reading.